Okay, so you've got your mural painted, or you're about to get it painted, and you need to know how to charge up the paint. Otherwise, it's not going to glow. Hang on, and I'm going to show you what you need to know in this next video about lighting and some different kinds of bulbs you'll need. Stay tuned. Hi, what I want to talk to you about in this video is lighting. Lighting is extremely important to get the most out of your night sky mural, or if you painted one yourself, your mural, or if you had somebody else paint your mural. This is important too, so you want to listen. I know a lot of places say, oh, just your regular lighting will charge it. No, it won't. If by chance you still have CFL, no, excuse me, not CFLs, regular incandescent bulbs, those won't do anything. I've held it up to a paper with paint on it. I held the light up for 5 or 10 minutes, very close, and you barely see anything. So you don't even know it's glow paint. So if you have any of those, don't try to use those. There's a lot of LED lights that are very similar. They don't work. So if it does work, I have some in my room that I was surprised one day. I turned the lamp off, turned all the lights off in the room, and right above that lamp, it was glowing. But it's not the best light. So I mean, it was glowing, but not very bright. So incandescents do not work. Most LED lights are not going to work. And if you find those party lights, I tell people black lights all the time, and they go out and get those party lights, which is basically an incandescent bulb with a some kind of film over it to make it look like a black light. Does not work because it's an incandescent bulb. Now, the lights that do work, let me go through those. A CFL light bulb. CFL stands for compact fluorescent light. Fluorescent, for some reason, lets off the light in the light in the light spectrum that it lets off is perfect for glow paint. This is fluorescent, and it's a great source for charging the paint. So, in fact, I have 4 of these in my bedroom. I have a ceiling fan that has lights underneath them, and of course they have the clear glass little cover. I forget right now what they're called, but you want clear because otherwise if it's opaque, it's going to block the light. So clear glass, put these in, and it charges up the ceiling beautifully. So that's one. If you don't need, I like those because they're just my normal lights in the room. If you have another lamp or two you can put in there, especially for that, you can go with the black light CFLs. Now, real quick on black light versus white light. If you go with the white light and they're on, like I have lights on right here, my pupils are closed up right now. And if I were to turn these off, or you have these on in your room and you turn off those lights, try to see your mural, you're going to see some stars, but you're not going to see the whole mural glowing like it should with the really small stars. You're going to miss a lot. After your eyes adapt to the dark and your pupils open up, then you'll see more. That's why I suggest black lights, because while they're on and charging up the paint and also causing the paint to fluoresce, because I have an additive in the paint that causes it to fluoresce. So these are good for that. And then when you turn them off, your eyes aren't closed up and you're going to be able to see a lot more. So there you go. Next are the normal regular tube black lights. I don't need to turn it on. You know what a black light looks like. Anyways, these are great. And if you have just a mural in your room, you can get a black light this size. If it's a small room, stick it on the bed, the end of the bed, the foot of the bed, somewhere in the middle of the room. Turn it on, leave it for 10 minutes, and then turn it off, and it's going to be great. Put this under the bed, and you're ready to go. I have friends and other customers that have put these on their wall. Put them on the wall, turn them on at night. It charges up the mural, and then just turn them off and enjoy the mural. So these are great. A lot of times I do work in home theaters, and you're probably going to want a 4-foot light like this. And you know, it's best, I think. People ask me, do I want one on each wall? That will work, but you're also going to want to have the look of when they're on. It looks really cool if you have these butted up against each other all the way around, and that gets expensive, but it looks great. You have just a blue light around the room, or purple, whatever. And they have special lights that you could put a little cord in here. You plug this one in. It has a little cord goes here, and it's about this long. Then you plug it into your other light, and they just daisy chain around. Those are good. Now, little note here: most black lights, when you order them, they come with a little plastic cover on them, you know, to protect the light. And in most situations, you can leave that on, and it's great. For the glow paint that we use, for some reason, that plastic cover blocks the light that's important to charge the paint. So I've gone back to jobs, and you know, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours driving to get to the job because they said my mural's not glowing. What's wrong? I have these, you know, 15, 20 lights around the room, and they're on for hours, and they're just not charging. So I'm thinking it's the paint or whatever, something. I got a bad batch of paint or pigments, and so I've gone back out there. I sit there and look. It's like, man, it's just not glowing. What's wrong? Then I remembered years ago I found this out. So I went up in the soffit, looked, and the lights, yep, they had the cover on them. Took all the covers off the lights, left them on for 10 minutes, went back down, boom, there was the mural. And the guy was like, whoa, I haven't seen this since you left, since you painted it. So if you get these lights, take the cover off. It's going to work better. A couple places you can get these. Spencer's. We don't have a Spencer's around here, but I've heard, you know, from other customers that there's Spencer's near them, and they go and they get the lights. You can order them online. There's a place called wildfirefx.com. They have an ultra rail, which is really low profile. This is a huge light. They're really low profile, so they'll fit in small spaces, and you can line your room with those, and they're powerful, but they're expensive. They're like $90 each light fixture. So if you've got the money, go for Wildfire FX. There's another place called slimfluorescence.com. It's either fluorescence or fluorescent. I think it's fluorescent. No S on the end. Slimfluorescent.com. They have a similar light that's low profile, and it is it's about half that price, so right around $40. And they're not the quality of Wildfire, and I've heard that customers will get 15 lights and 5 of them won't work. Now I've also heard they're good about replacing those, so make a phone call and they'll send you out new ones. So if you want to deal with that, Slim Fluorescent, Wildfire FX or Spencer's. There's blacklight.com. A lot of places have black lights, so and most black lights will work. You don't have to have a special light. Now, I have looked and looked for years to find, people are talking about LED strip lights. LED strip lights that will charge the paint. I have purchased probably 4 or 5 sets of these. I'm here in my office. I have a soffit around here, and I have the mural painted. And I put them up there, and I think 2 of them didn't work at all. Another couple, I thought I was excited because it did charge the paint. And this was after years of looking for them. It charged the paint. I was so excited. But then something inside is like, it's not really charging like a normal tube blacklight would, or the CFL. So the excitement was short-lived. I did a job one time up in Seattle, I think it was, and they had these LED strip lights, and I just thought, oh, it's probably not going to work. Those things were amazing. Those worked as well as any tube blacklight ever did. So I tracked down the supplier and talked with them, and that's what I've got here now. Let me show you real quick. These lights, good. These rubber bands always do that to me for some reason. These lights are great. So these are less expensive than Wildfire. They're probably around the price of the slim fluorescent lights that I told you about, that are about half of what Wildfire is. These come out to about, I think they're about $18 a foot. I think. So they're actually going to be more than that. They're going to be less than Wildfire, but these are amazing. Let me show you. I don't know with these white lights on if you can get the look at this, but they're black lights, they're powerful, and these things charge the paint amazingly well. I took a strip about this long, about like that, about 2 feet, and in one of my rooms it's about 12 by 14, and the ceiling goes from 8 foot high up to 12 foot high. It's a slanted ceiling. I put this 2 or 3 foot section on my bed for about 10 minutes, came back, and it charged that whole ceiling better than 4 of these light bulbs. And it charged places in my ceiling that the other light doesn't normally get to. So this is great. So there's 3 options. Whoops, wrong light. There's 3 options for you. The LEDs are great. You can get a hold of me, and the supplier wants me to be the go-between because they're a big supplier, and selling 1 or 2 customers isn't what they want to do. So I can get you these. Spencer's, Wildfire FX will do these. Any store has these, and probably Walmart, or I think even Home Depot has these. But anyways, that's it. So that's for lighting. So if you get the right lighting in your room and set it up, the light needs to hit the paint directly. So a lot of times people build soffits that are only a couple inches away from the ceiling. And when you have the light in here, here's the ceiling. The ceiling's here, and the soffit's down here, and then they put the lights in here. Well, it's going to hit right here, but way out here, it's not going to hit. So if you're building a soffit, and we'll talk in another video about this, the soffit needs to be down low so the paint can go out farther and hit. The light will travel. It's just it needs to be down low enough to be able to hit the ceiling. If you do have a soffit that's low to the ceiling or close to the ceiling, you can still put these lights in, or these other lights, and then put an additional light in the center of the room that aims up and hits the center of the ceiling. But the right lighting is important, and once you do that, you plan and you do that right, your ceiling is going to be amazing, and you're going to enjoy it for years to come. Thanks.